Konnichiwa, and welcome to the Samurai Way, the podcast where we dive into the wisdom of the samurai, the art of Japanese living, and the philosophies that help us live with purpose and perseverance. I'm Lori Sagawa, and whether you're here to explore Bushido, the samurai, uncover the meaning of Ikigai, or just looking for a little extra gambaru, never give up spirit in your daily life, you're in the right place. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's walk this path together. Are you ready? Let's begin. Well, welcome, minasan. Konnichiwa. I'm Lori Sagawa, the host of the Samurai Way podcast. And every week I bring amazing guests, and you never know who you're going to have. This week we have an amazing person whose name is Brian Freed. Well, Brian is an inventor, entrepreneur, and for the past 19 years, he's been professionally known as the Inventor Coach, working with inventors at every stage of their journey to commercialize their inventions, and he's helped countless individuals bringing their ideas into life. And with 15 issued patents, building brands and putting people into business themselves, he has extensive experience in this area. He regularly goes overseas using his platform, and he has an Inventors Club, which he found and runs a National Inventor Club with a database of over 10,000 active inventors, and includes his Smart Community, specialized in social media platform with 1,800 members that provides networking, live and virtual events, and comprehensive resources for inventors. And one thing I found out is that Brian has been doing this almost at the beginning of podcasts. So you can say, you might call him the father of podcasts, but please help me welcome Brian Freed.
Thank you so much, Lori. I
apologize.
They gave you the long version of my bio, but nice to be here, and thank you for having me. Yes, as you mentioned, I'm an inventor. I have 15 issued patents. I've licensed products, so you might have heard receiving royalties from your invention. So I receive royalties, and I have in the past. I manufacture products locally and overseas, and I've been working as the Inventor Coach for, like you were saying, 19 plus years. I don't remember when I started counting. I was an on-air guest on QVC for about 3 years myself. And I've authored 3 books. My latest one is How to Make Money with Your Invention Idea. And I founded the National Inventor Club. I've been running Inventor Clubs for many years, and converted it during COVID to the National Inventor Club, doing live streams every month. And then I also have an app for inventors called Inventor Smart Community, where we collaborate, network, do live streams and different events in person and online. So I'm happy to share as much information and wisdom and knowledge that I can to you and your community. So when you do have an idea, to be able to figure out what to do next and figure out if it's something that's going to make you money or not.
Great. Well, can you give us an example of maybe one of your inventions that bring it from an idea to inception and to the market?
Sure. Well, absolutely. So this one has been popular lately. One night I had no room left in my fridge, and I had leftovers from dinner, and I tried to find space in my fridge, and I realized that there was a carton of eggs, and I opened it up and there was 1 egg left in it, and that kind of drove me nuts. So that's the thing. I find things that annoy me, and I find a solution for it. And what I did was I came up with this product called Extra Space. It's a collapsible egg tray. So you put your eggs in, and as you take your eggs out, you just need that much space left. That's it. Oh, I'm doing this up in the air. But you get the hint. It's Extra Space. And that's my collapsible egg tray. Yeah. So I saw that on Amazon and on my personal website, and it's fun. It's a novelty, but it also works really well and saves space in the fridge. And some people buy 2 because they don't just have 12 eggs, they have 24 eggs.
24. Well, that's very interesting. And can you also share how your that you're not just thinking of, if you just think about me, it's not going to work, right? But that's the
Right.
thing about the true Japanese concept of Ikigai is your purpose has to serve other people. Otherwise, it's really not Ikigai.
Absolutely. So what I do is I kind of show people if I can do it, you can do it too. And
Hmm.
but just make sure that you're working on it for the right reasons and the way that you're going to be able to commercialize it and make good business decisions instead of emotional decisions. So yes, my purpose is to bring the information to people to help them to make better decisions. That's what it's all about. I'd like to show you this one also. During COVID, it was tough to get paper towels and any kind of paper goods. So I started to pick on things a lot more during that time. And I realized that as people were using paper towels, and this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but usually when your hands are wet or dirty, you put it on top of the paper towel roll and you pull the sheet off. And I started to ask my friends and family to take pictures of the top of the paper towel roll, and it was disgusting. There was dried up, wet orange juice, tomato sauce, dirt. And I said, okay, where do you keep your paper towel rolls? Keep it in the bathroom, keep it in the kitchen, keep it in the baby room, keep it in the garage. There were all these places that people were using paper towel rolls on stands. So what I did was I came up with this cap that goes into the inner tube of any paper
Oh,
towel roll. So now when your hands are wet or dirty, it stays on top and it keeps it clean and dry. So these have been selling really well on my personal website, on Amazon. Just a simple solution that I have patented that just does the job. and
it
and
does. Does it come
and
in small,
again,
medium, large?
no, you don't need to
No.
because it fits the jumbo size rolls. And as you're actually bringing down the roll, it keeps it tight so it doesn't unwind, which is nice.
Hmm.
Also, people have mentioned that, but simple.
That's very simple. My
So,
husband, my husband's an engineer, and that's what he always
uh,
talked about. He has a
yep.
patent in his name, but he says it has to be simple, and he runs it through all these tests, and that's what he did as an engineer. Had to be. And speaking of engineers, my VA NL, the very talented NL, is a civil engineer in the Philippines. So
Very
a lot of
nice.
engineers around me. Yes.
Well, look, I can come up with the ideas, but I need people to take it out of my brain and put it into what we call CAD file or schematics or specs or whatever, diagrams to be able to start off with saying, okay, this is what we're talking about. Now we can make a prototype and then figure out if this is the way that it should be. Should we tweak it? Does it look like it should look? And then start to take it to the next steps of saying, all right, and that's the thing, Lori, is it's interesting because it doesn't matter who you are. You could be in any profession, unemployed, senior citizen, student. At some point or another, people are coming up with inventions, coming up
Yes.
with an idea. And either you're that person that stops and captures that idea, or you say, I'm gonna let somebody else do it. I woulda, shoulda, could have, 20 years ago I invented that. I didn't do anything and somebody else did. Right? So and you think about it, you wake up and you have an alarm clock go off. You're in the bathroom and you're brushing your teeth or doing your hair or whatever. You're using all these different things to get ready. And then you're in the kitchen and you're using different housewares and kitchen gadgets and things that are in there. And then all of a sudden you're in the car, or maybe you're in public transportation and you're watching, seeing, or you're on in the airport. So there's so many things that are going on that you just, once you're aware and you become a people watcher, or you're watching yourself how you're doing things and realizing that maybe they could be done better, or it doesn't even exist and be able to put it out in the universe.
Mhm.
That's the start of something. And then figuring out, is this something that's your invention or is it somebody else's? So before you work on it, there's things that are simple like patent search with a patentability opinion, which allows me to vet my idea versus other ones that exist in the patent office. You might not see it in Walmart, but somebody might have a patent on it. So you want to make sure before you work on it, if you do, are you going to infringe on somebody else's intellectual property, or are you free and clear? Or is it in the public domain? If it's over 20 years old, anybody can make it. You can put a new name on it, but realistically, you're not going to get a patent, so other people can make the same thing. And
Mhm.
then deciding, okay, I'm going to get it to a point where I think my prototype looks good. And then I'm going to make a decision. Am I going to manufacture it and start my own business and be an entrepreneur? Or am I going to license it? So some people hear that to be able to say, I'm going to go to a company that makes similar type of products. They're going to manufacture it, they're going to distribute it, and I'll earn a royalty from it. And I can work on my next idea. Right. So there's more steps within, but just to give your viewers and audience an understanding of kind of the invention journey, that's where it's at. But you have 5,000 units in your garage. What next?
Right.
Or if you're trying to license it, you want to make sure you're going to a company that is a player in the industry to be able to make money off of your with you on your invention or for your invention.
Well, Brian, what I hear you talking about, in my opinion, is Kaizen, constant improvement. And that's what I mean. At one time, I don't know who it was, but they say, oh, all the inventions are already made. Well, that's not true. You and I know that's not true. We have the cell phone now, right? And
Right.
so if you'd like to expound on that a bit, how the inventions that you work with and the people you work with, how they help mankind and make it constant improvement.
You start off with the idea in your head, and then it comes to reality. You want to put it in front of you and bring it to the universe. And then there's a lot of times where I'm working on an invention and it's not right, or it's not working the way that I want it to work. So I got to iterate. I got to do it
Mhm.
again. And then I try it and test it, and maybe it's not this way. This morning I was on the phone with one of my clients and a factory that it's too heavy. We need to make the material uh, way less. Maybe it's not going to be the plastic, it has to be fabric. These are things that you have to constantly keep testing and trying till you get
Mhm.
it to the way that it should be, and know that it's something that people are going to want and use for the same reason that you came up with it. So I think it's very important improvement on what you're coming up with till you get it to what you want. Improvement for people that are coming to me that want an invention to, let's say, change their life. They want to be a gazillionaire. They want something that they can call their own, that they can build a business from, that they can help their family. That's all great. But again, you want to make sure that you're working on things that make sense, that are in the right frame, and be able to figure out and have a game plan of how you're going to commercialize it, I think is really important. So improvement is a very important, and you have to be patient, and not that it always has to be perfect. Maybe you want it to get as close as possible, but there could be another version after that once it's out there. You see plenty of
Mhm.
different versions of products and generations of products that grow. Look at even our computers, where they started and where they are now. You mentioned the cell phone. One of my friends, I have him on my speed dial, is Marty Cooper, the inventor of the cell phone. So, he came up with the cell phone for people to communicate and interact with each other and help each other. He's not happy with the way that it is today because it's made people not communicate with each other and message each other and everything else. It's kind of evolved in an unhappy way for him, the way
Mhm.
that he kind of presents it. So, but constant improvement is definitely a strong attribute to invention.
Well, has he ever thought about how he can improve that instead of making the cell phone? It's evolved into something that he wasn't anticipating. Has he thought about ways to bring it back to his original idea?
He has. I think there's. I forgot Bugaboo. I forgot what the name of the cell phone is, but him and his wife sell a basic phone with buttons and a speaker. I think that's it. Cell phone for people, and he caters more to the seniors, just for them to make phone calls. No smartphone, anything like that. Just basic. So I think he's still in that. But yes, I mean the phones are evolving so quickly. There's another day. I mean, my phone now folds. I mean, I got a
Oh,
folding
wow.
big tablet. So I'm just saying, like, it's unbelievable the way that things evolve. But yes, everything around you is most likely an invention. And there's ways for you to look at it in a unique way now that you kind of are in this mindset here, talking and bringing it out to the audience, is to say, you look around, most likely there's something right next to you or in your house that can be something new and be improved and be brought out into the universe for other people to use it while you came up for the reason you came up with it.
Uh, Well, fascinating. This is a fascinating conversation because I'm extremely right brained. Not much left in me, not much of the left side in me. That's why my husband is an engineer. So, we're kind of a balance, but and Anel is an amazing combination of right and left because she helps me so much with my business. I wouldn't be here on this podcast if it wasn't for Anel. So yeah, so it's they say that AI is going to replace people. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a big support system and be able to help you with uh, making decisions, but ultimately you have to make the decision.
Right.
If you need research, you can gather research and information, and if you use multiple AI sources, it might provide you with various answers to what you're looking for you to have to make the decision. So I think as a support team, staff, kind of by your side type of support, I think is really important. It's definitely making lives easier. It's making my life easier. Things that I would take a long time to do and work on makes it easier for me, and that it's relative how you use it. I mean, I can come up with something and I come up with business ideas, and I beat it up and beat it up and beat it up, and it gets me to a point where I really like it, but I have to keep tweaking it to get to what I want, especially when I'm coming up with something new that it can't find necessarily. But again, how it's making decisions is its opinion in a
Mm-hmm.
way, or they can pull facts based on so and so and the trends and analytics and all those type of things, which is interesting. But it definitely is a big topic, and I could say that inventing with AI is a very hot topic right now. So when you do invent with AI, is it your invention? So these are the hot topics right now um, that are in the queue for some better
Yes.
answers coming up soon.
Yes. It's kind of hard. I'm not an expert, but I do use AI because it's helpful. Like you said, I can't depend on it. It can't write a book for me. It could, but I don't want it to. But
Right.
there's a lot of, we're talking about Ikigai. Well, I'm in the middle of studying about Ikigai, so it'll be more the Japanese way. I'm Japanese, and I've always felt like the Venn diagram wasn't quite Japanese type, focusing more on the financial gain, which is fine. But in Japan, and especially in Okinawa, it has to help other people. And that's, if it doesn't help other people, it's not Ikigai. So it sounds like you're doing a lot to help mankind. I think that's wonderful. And the way you look at things, I mean, just really kind of expanded my mind because I don't think about those kinds of things, but it's very interesting today. And
Thank you, Laurie. I could say that a lot of people come to me with an idea in their head,
mhm,
and they're very excited. And I mentioned earlier, there's this emotional excitement and feeling that you get. And and I could say, no matter what you tell me, your idea is amazing and wonderful, and you believe me because you're so excited about it. But it really is important for you to take the first steps and figure out, is this something that you should work on or not? So I could tell you, Lori, a lot of times when I talk to people, I help them to figure out that they should stop working on their idea
Oh,
instead of working on it. I would rather you work on something that's going to make you money than spend your time, money, energy, effort on something that's not, or it's not your invention, or maybe it's
mhm.
somebody else's. So I think that's really important to make smart business decisions. And that's what I like I said, I'm not the guy to pat you on the back and tell you everything's great and wonderful. I'm going to put it into perspective for you so you can make better decisions on what you should do or what you shouldn't do.
Well, that's great because I call that integrity. Because you could say, "Oh yeah, we'll take your money and we'll, have these grandiose ideas," but when in reality, that's not really being honest
Right.
with
Well, that's Bushido, right?
Bushido, right? Right. So that all this, I believe, all the Japanese principles and samurai principles work together, and I love all of them, and I'm learning more about different ones. And today I was on a podcast, and she asked me, or we talked about how the samurai were very seasonal. And I thought, that's true. I did a little research on it. Go, that's so true because in Japan, if you're a Japanese housewife, you don't have one set of dishes. You have four, at least
Huh.
four, for the different seasons because they honor and respect, like the spring, the cherry blossom, and fall, it's the autumn leaves. And so everything is, I believe everything's kind of interrelated. That's my opinion.
Very nice. Well, it's people are doing something, whether
Mhm.
it's for yourself or your people watching, and just being aware of what's going on around you can make a tremendous difference. Everything that you're doing, even watching this recording or listening, what are you listening on? Earbuds or through speakers? What are you watching on? Your laptop, your desktop, your phone, your TV, casting to your TV? There's other ways that it could be done. Is it coming from you, the next big idea, or somebody else? And just think about everything that's going on around you from morning till night. Be a good people watcher, watch yourself, what you're doing, and find better ways to be able to put the problem solution in the universe. And that's what I love. I have these Elmo and Cookie Monster snack containers that I designed this invention, this this snack container. And these are, we have other versions at this point. They're not selling these anymore, but when they did, um, they were being sold in Walmart, and there was a kid that walked by the aisle and said, "Mommy, I want Elmo," and uh, and the mom's like, "Come on, let's go." I'm like, "I'll buy it for you," you know. Like it's actually my invention. So I took it out of the package. I gave the kid the product. I went to the register. I paid for it. I got royalties on it also. But I'm just I, you know, simple things like I didn't like when people would stick their hands into pretzels or
Ooh.
potato chips back in the day. I mean, that's how we used to, go to a party and there used to be a bowl to pick. So I came up with this kind of scooper, but it would look cool to have a face on it. So I licensed it, and the company that I licensed it to, every time one of them sold, they have to pay me and they'd have to pay Sesame Street. And we also had the Ninja Turtles, so they had to pay Nickelodeon. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be something that's, I mean, there are wind turbines I'm working on and medical devices and all kinds of things that are out there. But it could be within your profession, or it could just be things that you are doing that annoy you, or things that you're doing that you feel, well, I guess it's still, if you can improve it, it's kind of annoyed you in the first place. But that's the thing, is just being aware of what's going on around you, I think can make a big difference. And that's a message that I'd love to share with your audience, is that you're an inventor. What's the next invention that you're going to come up with, and capture that idea before it's gone, and then hopefully you have some insight of what it takes to bring it to market, just from some quick tips and advice. But that's why I put into the universe my National Inventor Club to educate inventors, entrepreneurs, startups, my Inventor Smart Community app to be able to have people continue to network and build and create with each other. And then I'm always available. And that's what I do is I work with inventors and I work with companies on consulting and being able to innovate and come up with new solutions or better solutions.
Mm-hmm. Huh. So, Brian, it's been a wonderful discussion with you. When you talked about not putting your hands in the potato chips, boy, did that resonated with me, because it's like I always put, whenever I put things out or see things, I go, let's put some utensils here. Let's don't grab it with our hands, because who knows what's
Right,
right.
exactly. It's
Especially
weird.
after.
A lot of time, like I'm not really a chef, or I'm not very active in the kitchen, but for some reason a lot of my inventions turned out to be housewares, and then
Huh.
others turned out to be more like mass market type of items. But you know what, when you think about it, like one of my inventions called pull ties, I was on QVC with this for many years, and then I licensed it also and earned royalties from it. But you take any plastic bag, cereal bag, freezer bag, and you put it through the loop and you push the button and it seals it tight. So the reason why I brought this up, Lori, is if I went on QVC, and the reason I came up with this is because on the bread bags, they have the plastic tabs and the twist ties and all that, and those annoyed me. So I
Me
came up with
too.
this, right? Like a slider to kind of like put the plastic bag through. And then I could say, you know, Lori, do you like bread? Anna, do you like bread? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Some people do, some people don't. But what I said was, you can use this on cereal bags, freezer bags, in your pantry. How many people have a kitchen? That's why this was a winner. You know what I mean? So these are the type of things to think about. Maybe you have something niche, or how can you make it so it's mass, so you can build that window of opportunity for more people to use it for the same reason you came up with it, and possibly to commercialize it and make as much money as you can with it.
Hmm.
So whatever part is inspiring to people out there, whether it's to come up with a new invention for yourself or to help people or to make money, whatever it is, you got to take action when you do have that aha moment and be able to bring it forward.
Well, you sound like the person to come to, Brian.
Thank you.
So, would like to know if you have, like, do you have a big plan, a legacy that you'd like to share with the audience? I like to ask that. I didn't tell that to you, but I like to ask my guests, like, what is your big plan? What is your big idea? Legacy would you like to leave?
My legacy, what I'd like to leave is putting enough content out there for people to get the right information to be able to help them to make the decisions moving forward in commercializing their ideas, and be able to build a network where people can help each other continue to build it, and
Mhm,
on a mass scale.
mhm. I love that. Help each other. Then that's like community and Kaizen all together. So,
Absolutely.
so I would like to say thank you for being here, Brian. You were a wonderful
Thank you,
guest.
Lori.
I'm sure you expanded everybody's mind, and maybe people will contact you with their ideas. Um, but you never know. You never know. Like you say, you just put it out there, and we have had quite a reach, working with a woman who's helping to boost this. And so each person that's been on has gotten over 1,000 downloads, and some of
Very
them
nice.
getting very close to
It's
2,000.
important.
We've only been doing a couple months, like, um, the the boosting. We've only done about 3 months, I think, and we have over 40,000 downloads. So we're just going to continue going, and we
Very
just got
nice.
15,000, and then before you know it, we're going to have 50,000 probably next month. So it's
That's fantastic.
exciting. It is, because it's good ideas. It's things that'll help people that'll lift them up, give them ideas, give people hope. We just had one that had talked about preventing suicide. And so, you never know what you're going to find on the Samurai Way podcast, but it's all good. It's all good
Absolutely.
because it's a
Very, very
Samurai Way.
important.
Yes, because among the pantheon of warriors, surely the samurai is the greatest, and that's Tetsura Shigematsu, who was a samurai descendant. So I'll leave you, audience, with that, and thank you for joining in. And we want to see you again, and please be sure to like, subscribe, and share Samurai Way podcast. So we'll call it a wrap, and mata ne, goodbye. And that's a wrap for today's episode, The Samurai Way. I hope you found a little inspiration, a new perspective, or just something to reflect upon as you go about your day. Now remember, the samurai spirit isn't just about history. It's about how you show up, face challenges, and live with purpose. Whether it's Ikigai guiding your path or a little extra ganbaru pushing you forward, keep walking strong. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, share, or leave a review. It really helps. And if you've got some thoughts, questions, or you just want to connect, just contact me. So until next time, stay focused, stay determined, and keep living with purpose. Mata ne.